There is a specific kind of person who now makes more money from a spare room in their house than most people make at their full-time job, and the machine that made it possible fits on a kitchen table. It is not a franchise. It is not a course. It is a small imported machine that most people scroll right past because they assume something that cheap could never build something real. After spending weeks comparing dozens of importable machines that people are actually using to build home businesses in the United States right now, I narrowed the list down to 7. Stay until the end, because the seventh one is the one that most people get completely backward. And once you see why, you will look at every machine on this list differently. Quick introduction for anyone new here. My name is Sarah, and for years I have studied how ordinary people in the United States, without investors and without a business background, turn a single imported machine into a real second income from home. Today it is 7 machines, so we can go deep on each one instead of rushing through a long list. Number 1. The Mini Heat Press and Sublimation Kit. This is the cheapest real entry point on this entire list, and it is the reason so many home businesses in the United States start here. A complete kit costs between $80 and $400 FOB. To start, make personalized shirts, mugs, and tumblers for your own family and coworkers first, so you build a small portfolio without the pressure of selling to a stranger. To scale, reach out to youth sports teams, churches, and school groups near you, since they order matching shirts every single season and are looking for someone local who can turn orders around quickly. The strategy that actually works here is offering a bulk discount for 10 or more matching items, because that turns one conversation into one large order instead of 10 small ones. Number 2. The Small CO2 Laser Engraver. This machine has become one of the most searched pieces of equipment among home business owners in the United States, and for good reason. It engraves wood, leather, and acrylic, which covers almost every personalized gift category people search for online. A compact unit costs between $400 and $1,200 FOB. To start, open a simple online shop with 5 or 6 designs built around weddings, baby showers, and graduations, since those buyers are already searching for something personal and are not comparing you against mass-produced items. To scale, once orders are steady, add a second machine, or run a night shift after your regular job, so you never have to turn away an order because you ran out of time. The real strategy is to charge for the personalization itself rather than the object. A plain sign sells for very little, but that same sign with a couple's exact wedding date sells for far more, because the buyer is paying for the meaning, not the wood. Number 3. The Portable UV Printer for Small Objects. This machine prints directly onto phone cases, water bottles, and hats, and it costs between $2,500 and $6,000 FOB, which makes it a bigger investment than the first two. To start, pick one flagship product. Personalized water bottles work well, and master that single product before expanding into anything else. To scale, approach local businesses that need promotional items with their logo, since gyms, clinics, and small restaurants order in batches and tend to reorder every time they run a new promotion. The strategy that separates people who succeed here from people who do not is planning inventory around peak dates like graduation season and the winter holidays, since running out of blanks during your busiest weeks is the single most common way people lose sales on this machine. Number 4. The Single Head Embroidery Machine. It costs between $1,500 and $4,000 FOB, and it solves a problem that almost every small business owner in the United States has but rarely thinks to outsource, which is getting a clean logo onto uniforms and hats. To start, call or visit small businesses near you directly, mechanics, restaurants, and clinics, and offer to embroider the logo they already have onto uniforms they already own. To scale, once you have 3 or 4 steady clients, offer a standing agreement where every new employee's uniform gets embroidered automatically, turning a one-time sale into ongoing monthly income. The strategy worth remembering is to save every digitized design file for each client, because the second order for the same logo takes a fraction of the time, which means your profit margin quietly increases every time that same client comes back. Number 5. The Desktop Resin or Filament 3D Printer. It costs between $300 and $1,500 FOB, and it works especially well because it lets you sell into communities that are already actively looking for exactly what you can produce. To start, look inside Facebook and Reddit groups built around board games, cosplay, and model building, since these communities constantly request custom pieces and are usually willing to pay for them without needing to be convinced the idea is worth trying. To scale, Once you understand one niche well, offer prototype printing to small inventors and local entrepreneurs, charging based on how long the machine is tied up rather than just the cost of the material. The strategy here is simple. Your time on the machine is the real cost, not the plastic, so price accordingly. Number 6. The semi-automatic vacuum sealer. It costs between $150 and $600 FOB, and on its own it might look like the least exciting machine on this list. To start, use it to properly package anything you are already making from the first 5 machines, since better packaging changes how a buyer perceives the value of what is inside it. To scale, offer sealing services to other small home producers near you who make candles, soap, or food items, but do not own the equipment themselves, charging per batch. The strategy is straightforward. A well-packaged product regularly sells for meaningfully more than the same product in plain packaging, and that difference multiplies across every single item you produce. Number 7, and this is the one to remember, the compact CNC router. Most people skip this one because the price looks intimidating at first glance, somewhere between $1,000 and $3,500 FOB. But here is what almost nobody says out loud. This machine does not compete with the other 6 on this list. It multiplies them. A CNC router can cut precise wood signs, custom furniture pieces, and detailed decor at a level of consistency that a laser engraver alone cannot match. And it opens the door to higher ticket items that go far beyond a mug or a keychain. To start, pick one furniture-adjacent product, a floating shelf or a custom sign, and sell it directly to local interior designers and small boutiques who are always searching for something that does not look mass-produced. To scale, pair it with the laser engraver from earlier on this list so you can offer both cutting and detailed engraving on the same piece, letting you charge premium prices for something a competitor with only one machine cannot replicate. The strategy that matters most here is patience. This is not a weekend project machine. It rewards people who treat it as the anchor of a real small business, rather than a side experiment, and that patience is exactly why so few people in this space actually own one. Before we close, 3 mistakes that quietly sink this business before it even starts. First, only looking at the price on the listing and forgetting to add shipping, duties, and processing fees, which can add a meaningful amount to what looks like a bargain. Second, buying the cheapest version of a machine you plan to run every single day, since a machine built for occasional use tends to break down fast under daily demand. Third, treating your first sale as the finish line instead of the starting point, when the real business is built on that same customer coming back and telling someone else about you. I want to leave you with 2 people. Maria is 36 and works in accounting. She picked the laser engraver, spent 2 weeks asking in local Facebook groups whether people wanted personalized wedding gifts before she spent a single dollar, and once she confirmed real interest, she ordered the machine and calculated her full landed cost ahead of time. A year later, she brings in around $1,000 a month on weekends alone. Chris is 39 and saw the exact same kind of video. He bought the UV printer first because it looked like the most impressive machine on the list, without checking whether anyone nearby actually wanted what it made. 6 months later, the machine sits mostly unused in his garage, and he still has not recovered what he spent on shipping. The difference between them was never the money. It was simply the order in which they made their decisions. If one of these 7 machines caught your attention, do not order it tonight. Spend this week asking a few people near you whether they would actually buy what it makes. The same thing Maria did before Chris ever thought to. That 1 week of asking is usually the entire difference between an idea that stays an idea and a small business that actually pays you back. If this helped you, give it a like so the algorithm shows it to more people like you, and subscribe if you want more videos like this one. Tell me in the comments which of these 7 machines you would start with. I am Sarah, and I will see you in the next video.